Hello. Miss, you're back already. Yeah, well, we lost you, we thought. Okay, ladies, let's get into a mate.
All right. Oh, yeah, Lisa, we started here so we can try this. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we should have an audience. We should have the camera going.
I think we should.
Hey.
We are.
Yeah.
The story thus far has seen the beginning of a royal wedding that easily tops that of Kate and William. Prospero gives his blessing to Ferdinand and Miranda, warning him that he shall not break his daughter's honour before the wedding has been solemnised. Recently, Prospero called upon Ariel, summoning spirits to perform a wedding mask for Ferdinand and Miranda. Prospero's mask features Juno, the symbol of marriage and family life in Roman mythology, and Ceres, the symbol of agriculture and thus of nature, growth, prosperity and rebirth, all notions intimately connected to marriage. The united blessing of the union by Juno and Ceres is a blessing on the couple that wishes them prosperity and wealth, whilst explicitly tying them marriage to unions and notions of social propriety and harmony with the earth.
Prospero gains knowledge about what the three conspirators are up to, learning about the men's drunken scheme to steal his books and kill him. However, Ariel has used the illusion of music to lead these men through rough and prickly rise and then into a filthy pond. In an act of revenge, Prospero and Ariel hang an array of fine apparel for the men to attempt to steal, after which they render themselves invisible. The fine clothing immediately distracts Stefano and Trinculo. They want to steal it, despite the protests of Caliban, who wants to stick to the plan and kill Prospero. Soon after they touch the clothing, there is a noise of hunters and a pack of spirits in the shape of hounds to drive the thieves out.
In the upcoming scene, we are to find out what is going to become of Alonso's entourage. We will see their reactions after hearing the revelation from Ariel that conveyed that they were under the control of Prospero's magical powers, thus having the ability to be led to the Isle of Forgiveness or the Isle of Damnation. So where will we go now? Will Prospero forgive those who have wronged him? Will Miranda marry Ferdinand? Will Sebastian kill Alonso and Gonzalo? Or will Prospero's major plan be shattered into a million pieces?
Let's go. How do you turn a video around?
My charms crack off, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with its carriage. Like the day.
On the 6th hour, at this time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so when I first raised the Tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together in the same fashion
Is
as
this
you gave
working?
me, just as you left them, all prisoners, sir, in the lime grove which weather fends your cell. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and yours abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly him that you tame, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears run down his beard like rooted drops. The reeds, your charm so strongly works them, in that now behold them, your affections would become sweeter. Yes, sir, so spirit, mine would, sir, were I here.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions? And shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish all as sharply, passion as they, be kindly moved than thou art? Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason, face my fury, do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend, not a frown further. Go, release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back, you demi-puppets, that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the yew not bites, and you, whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms that rejoice, to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though you be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong base promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar graves at my command, have walked their sleepers oped, and led them forth by my so potent art. but with this rough magic, I hear of jaw. And when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book.
Oh, not the book.
A solemn air, and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains, now useless, boiled within thy skull. There stand, for you are our spell-stop.
It's gonna hit you.
Holy Gonzalo, honourable man, my eyes even sociable to the show of thine, full fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer reason. O good Gonzalo, my true preserver, and loyal sir, to him thou followest, I will pay thy graces home in both word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood, you brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, who with Sebastian, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me, or would know me. Ariel, fetch me the hat and rapier in my cell. I will discase me, and myself present, as I was sometime alarmed. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
When the bees there stuck I, in the cow's swift I lie. Then I crouch when owls do cry. On the bat's back do I fly. After summer merrily, merrily, merrily shall I live now under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee. But yet thou shalt have freedom. So. To the king's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches. The master and the boatswain being awake, enforce them to this place. And presently, I prithee,
I drink the air before me and return or ere your pulse beats fast.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guides us out of this fearful country.
behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that a living prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body, and to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Wherever thou beest he or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late I have been, I not now. Thy pulse beats of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of mine amends, with which I fear madness held me. This must crave, and if this be at all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat, thou pardon me my wrongings, but how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honour cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of this isle that will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friend's oil. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I here could pluck his highness frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time I will tell my tale.
The devil speaks in him.
No, for you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even affect my mouth. I do forgive thy rancorous fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which I perforce, I know, thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast meet us here, whom 3 hours since were wracked upon this shore, where I have lost. My sharp, the point of his remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
And woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss and patience. Say it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose soft grace for the like loss I have her sovereign aid, and rest myself content.
You like loss?
As great to me as late and supportable to make the dear loss have I means much weaker than you may call comfort new, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter! Oh heavens, that they were both in Naples, the king and the queen there, and that they were, I wish, myself were murdered in the oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. I perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason, and scarce think their eyes do offices of truth. Their words are natural breath. But howsoever you have
A most famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown, but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life and a second father. This lady makes him to me.
I am hers. But oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
there, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrances with the heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, or should have smoke ere this. Look down, you gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you who have shot forth the way which brought us hither.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should become king of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and set it down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis, and Ferdinand her brother found a wife, where he himself was lost. Prospero his dukedom in a poor island of ourselves, where no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart, that doth not
Unprofessional.
Be it so. Amen. Oh, look! Sir, look here! Is more of us. I prophesy as if a gallows were on land, this fellow could not be drawn. Now, blasphemy, that swearest grace overborn. Not an oath on shore? Hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
Best news is that we have safely found our king and company, the next our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split this tide and air, and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went?
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you. We were dead of sleep, and how we know not, all packed under hatches, where, but even now, with strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible, were awaked, straight away at liberty. Where we, in all our truth, freshly beheld our royal good and gallant ship, our masters, came to eye her. On a trice, so please you, even in a dream, were we divided from them, and were brought broken hither.
What's thou well done?
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt be free.
This is as strange as a maze as ever men trod. And there is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must recertify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. At pick pleasure which shall be shortingly single, I'll resolve you, which you shall seem probable, of every these happened accidents. Till when, be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companies free. Untie the spell. How fares my gracious sir? There are yet missing of your company. Some few odd lads that you remember not.
She wears.
Every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune, which I wear, but courageous, bully rustic.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Setibos, these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy it?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish, and no doubt marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords. They say if they be true, this misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs and deal in her command, without her power. These 3 have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
He's drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Tricolo is really right. Where should thou find this grand
Prank
woman that hath
control.
killed me? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last that I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing.
How now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I'm not Stefano, but a cramp.
You'd be king of the Isles, Sarah.
I should have been a sore one then.
This strange thing, as ever I looked on one.
Aww.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, Sarah,
And
to
that's who they
myself.
chose.
Take with you your companions, as you look to have my pardon.
We
Trim
love
it
you all this
handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunken for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to, away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my full cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I do not think shall make it go to the way. The story of my life, and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this isle. And in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I've hoped to see the notion of these dear beloved solemn nights, and thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious that shall catch your royal fleet far off. My Ariel, ship, that is thy charge, then to the elements, be free, and fare thou well. Please, you draw near. Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have's my own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true, I must here be confined by you, or sent to Naples, let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver dwell in this fair island by your spell. But release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgences set me free. And sing